This week we are going to paint our flower. We are not going to paint with just regular paint. These are glaze, and glaze is a special kind of paint for ceramic. So inside glaze, there's like tiny little particles of sand, so almost like sand dust. So that when it gets in a kiln, and we fire it, it actually melts and gets all nice and shiny. Now I'm going to go over the colors with you of what you picked up at school. Some of them are pretty obvious, but some of them may not be obvious. So obviously this is yellow, orange, and this is going to be a teal blue. Next to the teal blue is purple. Then the one that looks like a dark pink is actually going to be a very bright red. And then next to that is going to be a hot pink. I know these two kind of look alike, but it's not the same. You will need a watercolor paintbrush. If you do not have a watercolor paintbrush, that's fine. Just use whatever you have. You'll need a cup of water to clean your paintbrush in between colors, and some paper towels to squeeze the water out. Okay, so here's how you decide how you're going to make your paint your flower. You have to decide, do you want each petals to be all the same color, or do you want them to have a design with the colors inside? Okay, so keep that in mind when you're doing your colors. So for example, for me, I'm going to decide to use the hot pink. I'm going to go into my hot pink, and I'm going to do the center part of my petals all hot pink. So I'm going to put some hot pink in the middle of my petals. Now you got to put it on kind of thick, okay? You're going to have to wait till it dries a little bit. It doesn't take long because your clay kind of absorbs that all the moisture. Okay, now this flower that I'm doing an example on was not fired, so that's why it's not drying as fast as yours is going to be, okay? Now I'm ready to switch. I'm going to do red around it. So to do that, I got to wash my paintbrush. Okay, so you go to the bottom of your cup, you touch the bottom, and you're going to mop the bottom of your cup. Okay, so you go mop, 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 mop. And then always wipe, don't tap, that way you don't make a mess. And then you're going to take a paper towel and you're going to squeeze the water out, just like that. Okay. Now I'm ready for the next part. So I'm going to do red for around my petals. And this is the part where I may want to take my time so it's nice and neat and it has a beautiful little shape. Go around your petals too. Don't forget underneath your petal. So you want to go on the side of your petals and underneath. Like that. Okay, that's pretty. You don't have to do underneath the center, but as long as you do wherever you're gonna see your flower is best. And then I would keep on doing like this all the way around for all of my petals. Now here's the trick. This type of paint, like I told you, is special paint. Okay, we call this glaze. So this kind of glaze, guess what? You have to do it 2 times for it to really work. If you don't, then it may not be super shiny, okay? So when you get it back, it may not be very shiny. Now, if for example, you ran out of a color and you did not have a chance to do 2 times, then think of another color you could do on top instead, okay? Since you're at home, I can't just re-pour some of the glaze for you. So I would like you to just use another color and figure out which one you have the most of, and try to do a color that works together, okay? So don't do like blue on top of orange, that's going to give you brown, okay? So try to use colors that would work well together. Okay, so now I did it all the way around. I'm going to mop, 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 wipe, and then squeeze the water out. Okay, here we go. Now I'm ready for my next color. So you decide whatever color you want to do for the center. Make sure you do underneath your petals, and then you got to do it all over again. Okay, so let's pretend I did everything already. Well, then I have to go back into my hot pink and do this again, okay? And then once I'm done with my hot pink, guess what? I'm gonna have to go back and do my red again, and then do the center again, okay? So I know this could be very time consuming. I know it may take you a little bit more than 45 minutes to do, which is our regular art time. If it takes you longer, that's okay. That's why we're gonna have 2 weeks to do this, okay? I'm giving you 2 weeks to paint it. Bring it back to school. I'm gonna put it back in the kiln, and then when it comes out, it will be beautiful and shiny and so awesome. You'll be so proud of yourself. Can't wait to see your beautiful flowers. See you next week.